get started, I would like to have a couple of brothers of mine to come stand beside me. Wyatt Green, Michelle Shannon, Lawrence Brown, Jeffrey Moore. I would call Mr. Paul, but he's going to come up right after me, so I'm not going to call him. As they're coming up to the podium, I would like to say good evening to the church, family and friends. Special greetings to the family that travel far and beyond Minnesota. It's an honor and a pleasure of mine to represent the Southwest youth at one point in time that we were, but now we're a little older. Dale meant a whole lot to our community. I'm going to try to break it down as best as I can. He was so many things to us. I'm trying to... First, he was Mr. MacGyver. Second, he was an employer. Third, he was our sports agent at one time. Fourth, he was our grandfather. Fifth, he was dad. He was a supporter as well. He was also invested in us with no strings attached. He was everything to us. He meant the world to me, personally. You know, if I could go down the list, I know I have but 2 minutes. I don't have time to do that. But I got the pass. He told me to do whatever I need to do. So I break it down one at a time. As Mr. MacGyver around Southwest, you would always hear the kids say, Mr. MacGyver, take my picture. And that's what it was all about. We wanted to be in the Southwestern. He always had a camera on his neck. Second, he was an employer. I think he employed each one of us standing up here. Starting out with the Southwestern. Started out with editing, showing us how to edit the paper. Got me a job, my first professional job on the Hill from Congressman from Minnesota. Third, our sports agent. All of us played sports. And he made sure we had all the tools we need to get where we need to go. He supplied us to get to colleges for visits. He bought airline tickets for us and our family. Wow, with no strings attached. I got chills in my body when I talk about that. Fifth, he was was a grandfather. I guess he was a grandfather because, you know, we were young black men, teenagers, and it was hard to say that's our dad at that particular time, you know. So that was kind of hard, but that lasted just a little bit. Fifth, he became our father. We grew up now. We had self-confidence in ourselves. We were grown men. We didn't worry about who thought what we said. He was our dad, just like that picture showed up there, the father of the year in the program. That's what he was, the father of the year. I know I didn't have my biological father in my life, in my house, so Dale kind of filled that void for me personally. Dale made sure I went to the dentist. If I need to get a tooth pulled, he paid out his own pocket. It's so much I can say about Dale. We'd be up here all day. But I just want the family to know and the friends to know that he meant everything to us. And we are the men that we are today because of him. So thank you and love you all.
Just one of those guys, because all the 5 guys that came up here, I'm like 2 or 3 years older than them. And so my age group, we were more rebellious. I didn't take the opportunity that Dale was trying to extend to me. And so I had to go down a rough road. But reading some of the things, and I didn't realize that me and Dale did have something in common. I have a twin sister. Yeah. And so I was just sharing a story how my little sister used to come and carry my football equipment when I had practice down at the club. But it was the boys and girls, it was the boys club then. So she had to stand at the top of the steps to wait for her big brother to come out for practice. And then as you know, it turned into the Boys and Girls Club. So she was one of the first girls to actually integrate into the Boys and Girls Club. And just like Melvin has said about, you know, taking your picture, it's one thing growing up in the hood and actually seeing your picture in a newspaper. Because we know we wasn't going to be in the Washington Post or the Star. Because that's why I threw Dale papers now. He wasn't paying too much. The Washington Post and the Star, you know, if I go around these buildings and pick up the papers, I'm going to give me $1 a paper instead of the $20 Dale talking about. But I've learned to grow and I became a man. It took me almost 40 years. Because I went to prison at an early age, at 18. And I can remember my cellmate was another young guy from Southwest. He used to write Dale all the time. And Dale used to send him money. You know, him and Dale had a good rapport. You know, so that told me a lot about the man. And even through my trials and tribulation, I came home, I wanted to give back to my community. And Dale was one of the first ones to reach out to me to make sure that my reality become fruition and realize the dreams of other kids that I can make things possible. Because it wasn't a grant that I went after that Dale wasn't on board with. Even when I need uniforms for the kids to play out in my group to hoop, Dale said, "You got enough money, Paul?" I said, "No." He said, "I'll be over there and hand me cold-hearted cash." So I know, just like Melvin said, he had no hidden agendas. You know, and just hearing the stories, you know, I just love stories. And, you know, Mr. Shannon has shared a story at a party we had for Dale, you know, about different groups and music that he loved listening to. You know, Melvin shared a story about him when he took Melvin shopping, when Melvin had his kid, had 3 shopping carts full of, you know, stuff for the baby. That's just the way Dale is. And me personally in the community, I'm trying to reach that plateau where I can be the next Dale. You know, and I'm working, I'm striving for it, but I know I got a ways to go. But I ain't gonna stop. I want to thank the family for sharing Dale with us. And, you know, still working at 97 years old. And the good thing about Dale is one thing I got to work on. You know, suffer from that lack of attention. Dale didn't want no attention at all. Because I had called him up to come out and get an award which is located back there. Dale said, "Well, Paul, you know, I appreciate all the love and support, but I'm okay. Y'all go ahead and celebrate." Thanks for the family for coming so far. And thank you guys for actually welcoming us in this church, Mr. Ruth and Brian. Thank you.
This time, I'd like to, before we're not going to have comments and tributes from the floor, but I'd like to invite Naomi Mitchell on behalf of Charles Allen's office, our council member, who had another engagement today, but she has a letter from